As well, I mean, a lot of what I've seen in my, relatively short, I guess, professional career is that actually the way trees can be used to solve so many problems. It's not just around timber, it's around flooding, it's around ecological restoration, all of those type of things. But also it's around the technologies as well that they can now be applied to, because it's not just, timber's not being used the way you would traditionally think it would have been. Traditionally we used it for, as we talked about, timber for housing, boats, that type of thing, but now it's being changed. Timber that traditionally couldn't be used, as you've already said, can be enhanced to be used for new uses. But there's some really interesting ways those chemical components are being used now to make completely new products that you never would have thought about, or you see even now, you find it hard to believe. So, some of those are LCD screens. They're being used in computers to form sort of biodegradable plastics, that type of thing. And you even mentioned about 3D printing the other day.
Yeah, I'm looking at your glasses too. They're made out of wood, aren't they?
Made out of wood, exactly. Yeah, it's like a plywood.
So you got designer products and bits of very high-end cars, bits of technology. If you can, if you think about, the best way to think about it is paper, perhaps, which everybody probably knows is made out of trees and quite a lot of water. You can imagine the fibres in paper, they're quite long. That's why things like spruce are good for paper. They're quite long. But if you take that same principle of breaking a tree down into its fibres and then sort of sticking it back together, and then in terms of paper, it's sort of rolled and made into a solution, and you get paper out the other end. If you then go a bit further and you maybe take, you break down to the sort of into a more molecular level, and you can tell I don't have the technical knowledge around this, but actually it's very logical to me. As a bit of a layperson, is that you break it down even further, you can get it to a size a bit like you can 3D and print with plastic or other products. You can fire that through a jet printer, a 3D printer, and you can build up anything. Now, the one thing, what you're doing there is you're building something up out of nature's wonder material, carbon neutral, comes from fantastic woods with wonderful biodiversity, stops flood protection, protects against flooding, adds quality to water, takes pollutants out of the air. Great, you can hear the birds singing in the background here, local jobs, livelihoods, timbers to build houses, and then you can also 3D print it into just about anything you want. The future is fantastic, and of course you can use any quality of timber for that as well, necessarily, because you're sort of breaking it down. It doesn't have to be the tallest, straightest, most magnificent tree.
Yeah.
It can be other shapes and sizes.